Our next speaker is Mike Fleck. Mike was president of the library board when we built and moved into this building. Mike will tell us about those middle years when the district was growing up.
Thanks, Jan. Thanks for asking me to speak today. I'm really honored to do so. Jan knows me pretty well, and she told me I had to keep my remarks limited to 6 or 7 minutes. So
5 to 6.
Okay, 5 to 6. And, which is a shame because there was a lot that went on during those years. At first, when I was asked to be on the library board, I was appointed for somebody that was stepping down and then was elected to be on the following year. I thought, how hard could it be? Look at the building. It's a small little library. Couldn't be too difficult. It would be great to be part of the giving into civic duty and that sort of thing. Well, what I didn't know is that they had big plans. And I really got to commend this early board for the plans that they made. When they started out, the district was about 5,000 people. They had the foresight to realize that this town was going to explode. And they knew that to be the cultural and information center of this area, that we needed to have a library that could meet those needs. So they were thinking way ahead of the game. When I came in, we had just started the referendum process. We had to find land. We had to work with a consultant who could help design the building for us that you're sitting in today. We had to do all sorts of other things related to the construction process, the staffing up that we needed to do. And so we had a lot of people helping us along the way. And the public was very supportive for us at that time. We were able to secure this property after looking at about 15 sites or so. And the one thing that we really liked about this space is that we knew that it could expand because we needed to expand beyond what we're thinking of, what the first group was thinking of, because we knew the town would continue to grow. And so when we bought this property, we had the room to make the place a little larger. We also had to sell the old building, which was an interesting little project for us because you have to put it up for auction. In the interim, a few other things took place. Our librarian, Jane, our first librarian, had decided that she wanted to move on, and she had done a wonderful job for us and was very instrumental in the design of the building that you see here. But we did need to find a new librarian as well, which complicated things because as a board, we didn't really know much more than the Dewey Decimal System. So that was quite a challenge for us as well. We want to recognize that our architect, Liederbach and Graham, designed a wonderful place. We gave them pretty much one rule. We wanted to be consistent with the integrity of the village of Huntley. And that's why the building looks like it does today. And we've gotten lots of compliments on it. And other developers have come in to look at the building because they want to try and keep that charm alive and have a viable building for their public projects as well. And also, our construction managers, Lamp Incorporated, were very instrumental in making sure the project stayed on target, on budget, and we learned a lot as a board as to what all goes into making the building what it is today, the bricks and mortar. When we moved in, we didn't have that many books, it seemed. We had a lot more than when the library first started, but it was pretty cavernous in here. We would have our meetings over in the other room, and it would kind of echo a little bit because it wasn't that filled up. But we did say at the groundbreaking, or at the grand opening ceremonies, that in 5 years we were going to need to expand. And by God, we did need to expand. And as you look around, you can see that we do have lots of room, or not much room left, and lots of need for more space to continue to be the cultural and information center that we have. One of the greatest projects that the board did while I was serving as president was, actually Jan was president, I believe, and then I was coming in. During the process of finding a new librarian, we had gotten a number of resumes in that were all very good, and we whittled it down to a handful, and then we decided on 3 particular candidates to interview. And we had gone to my office over by the Huntley supermarket at the time, and conducted the interviews. And I can agree with Jan Crable that being on the other side of the interviewing table is quite different. We had two very good candidates. And at the end of the two interviews, we really thought we found somebody that could really take us the next step for the library district. But we had one more interview to go. And that person came in and just floored everybody. Wowed us with her humor, with her knowledge, with her foresight, with her understanding of library law, even though that all of her years were spent in Indiana. But she seemed to really have a handle on it. And when that interview was over, we all looked at each other and we were so impressed with Virginia. And that was probably the greatest thing that I say we did as a board, was to ask Virginia to be our librarian. And she's been outstanding for all these years. And very funny too.